Good evening and welcome to the news. The Wednesday package, as usual, is loaded with stories from different parts of the nation, focused on issues affecting our daily lives. We'll give perspectives to developing stories and opportunity to citizens with different viewpoints to share their thoughts about issues on the front burner. Tonight, another increase in the price of premium motor spirit, petrol, and the low spirit are on the streets. The Senate to back local government autonomy with enabling laws to ensure effective administration in that tier of government. Lagos boat mishap. Nigerian Inland Waterways Authority goes after operators and other corporates. Student loan. Government takes advocacy to tertiary institutions as more students benefit. Also tonight, we'll take some important bit of business as Benny Adams gives us details of a likely positive move in our foreign exchange, while Badi Adeleye has his eyes on the Super Eagles camp in Uyo ahead of the crucial AFCON qualifier against Libya on Friday. As we say on this bit, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm Yan Ray John, and this is News Extra. Welcome. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and other oil companies have increased the price of petrol, with prices depending on petrol stations. For NNPCL Limited, it is from 855 naira per litre to 998 naira per litre in Lagos, whereas in Abuja, the pump price is sold at 1,030 naira. Lydia Samson has an overview.
The price increase is not unconnected to the fact that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited ended its exclusive purchase agreement with Dangote Refinery, thereby opening up the market for other marketers to buy petrol directly from the refinery. While this means NNPC will no longer be the sole off-taker and marketers can now negotiate prices directly with Dangote Refinery, the implication of this is that petrol will now sell at a cost-reflective price, meaning Nigerians will have to pay more. The last pricing template released by the NNPC Limited September 15 showed that the product was selling in its outlets at 980 per litre in Lagos and 1,010 naira per litre in Maiduguri and other northeastern states. Now, the price in Abuja is 1,030 naira per litre, Lagos 998 naira per litre, other southwest states 1,025 naira per litre, southeast 1,045 naira per litre, south 1,075 naira per litre, and northeast 1,070 naira per litre. The prices are higher at outlets belonging to major and independent marketers. Meanwhile, this new development, difficult as it is, aligns with the current practices for fully deregulated products, where refineries can sell directly to marketers on a willing buyer, willing seller basis, which is the current practice for all fully deregulated products such as diesel, aviation fuel, and kerosene. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Interesting report there. I've got Lydia Samson with us now to tell us more about what's going on with the price of petrol. Lydia, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Nyenwe, for having me.
All right. Is there any plausible explanation for this latest increase in pump price of petrol? And what is the position of authorities on the matter?
Thank you, Yenwe, again for having me. I must begin by saying I'm not speaking for NNPC Limited or any major marketer or independent marketer. But as a reporter covering the bid, you will understand that there are things that come together, that play out in a deregulated market. For us in Nigeria, petrol has always been a focus, but right now it's fully deregulated, meaning market forces will determine the price, and often in the past, we used to hear of announcements of increase, but lately, announcements will no longer be what obtains. You just go to a petrol station or a gas station and see that there are increases. But let's look at the bigger picture. There could be time going forward when we could also get a balance to the point that the prices may it's kind of difficult for anyone to believe now, but they may stabilize and even perhaps come down as the market forces continue to determine the market, the oil market as a deregulated sector. Because now we no longer talk about diesel, we don't talk about petrol, kerosene and aviation fuel, because those are fully deregulated and there's always availability because it's deregulated. So I think, let me just stop here because that's what I can explain, even though the authorities for now are not saying anything, because in a fully deregulated market, generally anyway, going forward, we don't expect such announcements that there will be fuel increases.
Wow. Now, what are the implications, listening to reports now that other marketers can access the product from Dangote Refinery?
Looking at the bigger picture, I think we should be optimistic, because in the past it was only NNPC that was, like the sole provider, the sole supplier, and they call themselves the supplier of end result. But right now, it's an open market. And let me make it clear, Nyewe, that there's nowhere in the world where petrol is sold in local currency. But Nigeria is just a pace-setter now, because we'll be buying crude oil in Naira. And being an open market now, most of the independent and major marketers have they can directly negotiate and determine their prices with Dangote. And in addition to maybe stabilizing the oil and gas sector, the Naira will also be strengthened, because while you buy crude oil in dollars in other places, in Nigeria, there's commencement of selling in dollar. And being an open market anyway, you will see more competition. And the competitiveness is what will determine where people go to buy. Because definitely will not get it at the same price. But there are places that will be cheaper depending on the deal they are able to have. And I don't know about you, but I'm a motorist who will look for a better deal. Wherever I believe there's a cheaper product, I will go there.
Listening to you, Lydia, I'm sure what's in the mind of every Nigerian watching you at this point is, will this price ever come down? Because, recent months, it's been going up and up.
I can't give you a date, but definitely, anyway, if we look at what plays out in the deregulated market, it will come down. But we're not promising anyone that it's going to be an immediate kind of thing, because it's time that will determine all of this. I like giving a simple example with what obtained when, SIM cards came out initially. They were so exorbitant that it's not everybody that could afford it. Now you could walk into a market and just pick a SIM card for 200 naira. And hopefully, it's going to be long, a gradual process, but hopefully we will get there. And in addition to the fact that we are not just depending on petrol anymore, there's an energy mix. You can choose which one of the energies you want to use. And with the competition, I believe it will come down. But it's not something that we should expect immediately. We need patience, and we need to keep hope alive.
All right, many thanks, Lydia. Nice, listening to you. And of course, just as you spoke, I just hope that we get to actually see the prices come down. And I hope to have you again on the program when it's down.
Thank you. And I'll be a bearer of good news then, and I'll be happier.
All right, thank you so much. That's correspondent in the oil and gas sector, Lydia Sampson. Still looking at the oil sector, and $850 million modular refinery complex located at Abuja in Unigwa local government area of Bayelsa State is almost being completed. The refinery, which is currently employing 400 foreign and local labor on site, is to add value to the Nigerian crude oil as well as create employment opportunity. Timonipre Ohia reports that inspecting the refinery complex, Governor Doyedere reiterates his administration's resolve to partner genuine investors for the socio-economic development of the state.
Bayelsa State is a cradle for oil exploration and exploitation, though without a corresponding industry to refine its products. There appears with the establishment of the first indigenous modular refinery, there is hope that crude oil will soon be refined in the states. Governor Doyedere, while on inspection visit to the modular refinery, commended the president of the firm for his drive to ensure the completion of the project, as completion will change the status of the state in its industrialization drive, improve internally generated revenue, and create jobs.
It's almost been completed. for the first time, as I said earlier, we will be hosting a modular refinery in our states by God's grace next year.
There is nowhere in Africa today that uses condensate. We are the first to pioneer the utilization of condensate to refine petroleum product to Nigeria.
By conducting the governor around the facility, the president of the modular group appealed to partner with the government to dualize the road leading to the refinery for easy transportation of refined products. Timinepri, Ohia, NTA News.
With the recent push for vehicle conversion from petrol to compressed natural gas, CNG, many Nigerians suspected transportation costs to plummet, especially in the commercial sector. But what is the situation on the streets? Our correspondent Oyeyemi Ajayi hit the roads to find out if the benefits of this initiative are truly reaching the commuters.
Expanding the adoption of the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas for mass transit with private sector players. The federal government is ready to assist the 36 states and FCT in acquiring CNG buses for cheaper public transportation.
The broadcast was one of hope and change. President Tinubu's administration rolled out the introduction of compressed natural gas for the transportation sector as part of a broader plan to alleviate the economic challenges facing the country. The goal was clear: to make transportation more affordable and sustainable. As part of this initiative, drivers of taxi hailing companies were promised a 50% discount on CNG conversion, while commercial drivers were offered free kits to encourage the shift. A larger aim to reduce transport costs, create jobs, and boost local technology transfer. But has this vision translated into reality?
I didn't see any reduction in transportation. Coming to this place this morning, I think I spent like about 1,000 naira from Yanya to this place. So we haven't seen the effect of the reduction yet.
Before I used to spend like 600 or 700 naira to and fro back to my house. But now I'm spending close to 3,000 naira.
From my house to Narrow Park, before it used to be 1.5, but now it's 3K, 3.5.
To understand the impact firsthand, I decided to board a taxi from FCDA to Gudu. That hitherto cost 200 naira, but now goes for 400 naira. Here's the conversation that followed with the driver.
The CNG kit, now you never convert your own?
Nobody don't. I never see person convert. Well, now that is what I will say. People may convert, but I never see. And even where, even 300 for commercial vehicle for this route, where I know. If one convert, at least it go be, the news go begin to circulate.
To shed more light on this, I spoke with Issa Ore, acting president, National Union of Road Transport Workers. He revealed that most commercial drivers are yet to convert their vehicles to CNG, citing logistical challenges and the need for more support. This, he explains, is the main reason transport fares have not seen the expected drop.
The problem we are having is that the conversion kits are not available as we are talking now. Not even up to 1% of the motor we have all over Nigeria are being converted. So the number, they gave us 100 slots per state. Even right now, as we are speaking, in Abuja, they were unable to convert that 100.
The road ahead seems to hinge on better education and awareness for motorists to embrace this initiative. Only with wider adoption will the government's target of converting 250,000 vehicles annually be achieved. And with that, the hope of reduced transport fares and a more sustainable energy future. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Still on CNG, let's head to the coal city state now, where the shift from the use of premium mill spirit, PMS, to compressed natural gas, CNG, in the transportation system is not only geared towards reducing the high cost of transportation in Nigeria, but also to align with the global efforts to reduce carbon emissions and promote sustainable energy. Kelechi Ochiaga examines the impacts of CNG in addressing the high cost of transportation.
The removal of fuel subsidy in 2023
has led to increased federal government intervention initiatives to cushion its effects, hence the adoption of compressed natural gas as a transformative force in Nigeria's transportation system and environmental sustainability. Compressed natural gas is considered a promising alternative to petrol in Nigeria, given the country's substantial natural gas resources. Experts say that CNG presents a more economical alternative that could reshape this landscape of private and public transportation in the country.
This natural gas is a little bit cheaper. Innocent is trying to modify everything. You can charge and you move, whereby you will make the cost of fuel to drop.
So it automatically reduce the cost of transportation and it will affect goods and services.
The federal government has partnered several transport agencies to assist in achieving the state's transformation by offering free and subsidized CNG conversion to transporters, thereby strengthening domestic manufacturing and local assembling. Enugu state government has made a bold step towards this cleaner and more sustainable energy source, which is expected to address several transportation challenges, including high cost of transport fares. As the country grapples with the rising fuel prices, CNG offers a practical and cost-effective solution that can benefit both transport operators and consumers. In Enugu, Kelechi Ochiara, NTA News. Meanwhile, the Court Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Shehu Mohammed has expressed optimism that Nigeria can achieve a 50% reduction in road traffic deaths by 2030, in line with the United Nations Decade of Action for Road Safety. He said this at a two-day Africa Road Safety Seminar in Nairobi, Kenya, organized by the Global Road Safety Partnership in collaboration with the International Federation of Red Cross and Crescent and the International Road Assessment Program. The seminar targets assessing the impact of road safety in the region towards reducing road traffic deaths by 50% by 2030. The Corps Marshal said that strategies had been mapped out to combat the challenges associated with motorcycle operations, which he said had become a prominent feature in public transportation in Africa. In other news, the Nigerian government says it will continue to strengthen ties with Japan as part of measures to deepen trade and exploit more opportunities in infrastructural development, food security, and healthcare. Vice President Kashim Shettima gave the assurance when a delegation of the Japanese government, led by the outgoing ambassador of Japan to Nigeria, Matsunaga Kashiyoshi, and President of Japan International Cooperation Agency, Tanaka Akihiko, paid him a visit at the presidential villa, Abuja. Abdurrahman Jabrila has all the details.
Assuring the Japanese government of enhanced cooperation with the federal government as well as resolving all grey areas involving bilateral relations between the two nations, Vice President Kashim Shettima commended the outgoing ambassador for doing an outstanding job in anchoring the relationship between the two nations, noting that the presence of key actors in the administration of President Tinubu accentuated the importance Nigeria attaches to its relationship with Japanese International Development Agency, commending JICA for its commitment towards strengthening the ties between Nigeria and Japan through its contributions to the development across critical sectors of the economy, especially JICA's donation of a grant of 1.7 billion yen to the Nigerian Center for Disease Control to strengthen the center's diagnostic capacity. Vice President Shettima also acknowledged JICA's assistance in polio eradication, which he said helped Nigeria to achieve polio-free status in 2020. The president of JICA sympathized with Nigeria over the flood that recently caused damage to many communities and deaths, especially in Maiduguri, Borno State, saying the sympathy is special because Japan has been a victim of natural disasters. The outgoing ambassador disclosed that Japanese government has paid great attention to the partnership with Nigeria and used the opportunity of the visit to strengthen the bilateral relationship between both countries.
Our area of collaboration covers widely, but we need to make lots of efforts in health and medical sciences, encouragement of startups and in manufacturing, and power transmission in energy sector, and agricultural development. And so these are major areas that we agree to promote in the coming years.
And Nigeria. Next year, we will host the Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 9 in Tokyo. We will invite all African leaders and the private sector leader too, in order to strengthen our relationship between Japan and Africa. So today is a very good timing to have the president of JICA and also to discuss variety of the project and how we can expand our cooperation in the future.
The project is instrumental in elevating the Nigerian ports to meet international standards, extending their gratitude to Nigeria and its citizens for understanding, supporting and allowing JICA to participate in development projects in the country, as they have also visited the Nigerian Information Technology Center and met with Nigerian engineers and entrepreneurs and were impressed with their ingenuity and level of creativity, stressing that it has formed the basis of collaboration with JICA. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Away from the State House now, let's take a look at the National Assembly, where Senate says attempt by some state governors to circumvent the recent Supreme Court judgment on financial autonomy for local government areas in Nigeria is an exercise in futility. This is because it intends to amend all relevant sections of the Constitution to ensure full financial and administrative autonomy to the third tier of government. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the legislators were reacting to allegations that some governors want to use state assemblies to enact laws to enable them continue to draw funds from local government's account.
The Supreme Court of Nigeria ruled that all funds due to local governments in Nigeria from the federation account must be paid directly into the accounts of local government. This ensures that local government councils operate without undue interference or control from state governments.
The issue of financial autonomy for local government was raised as a matter of urgent public importance, but divergent views from legislators led the Senate to resolve to a closed-door session. At the end of the session, the resolutions were read and adopted.
All states and local governments to fully comply with the recent Supreme Court judgment
will alter any aspect of our Constitution, amend any section of our laws to ensure full autonomy to the local government administrations in this country, so that it will be recognized fully in action and in fact as a third tier of government of the Federation.
In another motion from Senator Ireti Kingibe, Senate urged the federal government and other stakeholders to address the challenges of the girl child in Nigeria.
The continued marginalization of the Nigerian girl child threatens the future development of the country, and it deprives half the population of their right to education, health, economic empowerment.
And in most climes, the girl child is not given the same opportunity that the male child is given, especially in third world countries, in our local environments where people are not really exposed.
It's very important, especially in the rural areas, to carry out enlightenment campaign by the federal government in collaboration with the state government.
A few days from now,
the whole world will be celebrating the International Day of the Girl Child. And I think it's an opportunity for us to ask ourselves in Nigeria, how well have we done?
Meanwhile, Senate has passed for second reading bill to establish a national commission for the eradication of child destitution. Senate honored the late Senator Jonathan Zungina with a minute's silence and urged the federal government to immortalize him. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Committees and caucuses are the lifeblood running through the veins of every legislative assembly. They enable the parliament to pause with purpose and carry out its functions effectively. In this report, Ignatius Nkwo delves into the essence, variety, and power of caucuses within Nigeria's National Assembly.
A parliament is more than a mere assembly of lawmakers. It is a stage upon which the destiny of the nation is performed. But behind the grand display of debate and resolutions lies a delicate network of alliances and shared convictions. That is the parliamentary caucus. These caucuses are not defined by party lines alone. They draw together members from different political factions, regions, states, and genders bound by common causes and collective visions. In Nigeria's National Assembly, caucuses act as the vital organs through which the parliament draws its strength.
Caucuses are very, very important. They are part of the whole. I mean, you come from different ends. So many people, so many different opinions. Through caucuses, you converge those opinions.
Caucuses help to strengthen the unity among ourselves, and also to ensure that projects and programs that are meant for every state, one is not shortchanged.
From political party to regional and state caucuses and the Resolute Women's Caucus, these groups wield significant influence, steering legislative efforts towards their shared interest. The influence of caucuses is not unique to Nigeria. In other parts of the world, such as Canada, caucuses are not just informal gatherings, but recognized bodies funded by Parliament itself, with research offices and dedicated resources to shape policy.
And of course, ensuring that the well-being of our constituencies taken into cognizance in formulation of policies and legislative processes.
Beyond the formalities, caucuses play a deeper role within the Assembly, one that transcends the visible workings of Parliament. They are the silent force behind social control, the engine that escalates overlooked issues and calms stormy debates. When the Parliament at large is paralyzed by division, it is often the caucuses that offer a platform for members to air grievances and work through their conflicts, unburdened by the pressure of public scrutiny. Yet, their power is not without criticisms. Some believe caucuses, rather than unify the Assembly, breed division, with members more loyal to their group's agenda than the broader national interest. But in this dynamic tension lies the opportunity for progress.
It builds a national aspect of it. They interact with NGOs and other civil society in terms of integration of ideas. So I believe that caucuses should be encouraged.
As the Nigerian National Assembly continues to evolve, it is clear that parliamentary caucuses could hold the key to driving its legislative agenda forward, balancing the forces of unity and dissent in the delicate web of representative government. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Many thanks, Ignatius. Let's see other news now as President Bola Tinubu pays a special tribute to an astute administrator, educator, author, and scholar. Currently, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB Registrar, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, as he turns 70 on October 10, 2024. Part of the tribute reads, as the former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, Professor Oloyede's invaluable contributions to the nation through academia and public sector administration have significantly impacted the academic community through patriotic dedication and commitment to his craft. Professor Oloyede imparted knowledge and character to thousands of students who underwent his teaching during his glorious and impactful academic career. The president praised that Almighty Allah will continue to honor the distinguished professor with health, wisdom, and strength to serve the nation for many more years. Similarly, President Bola Tinubu congratulates a renowned pediatrician with a distinguished career in public health and former First Lady of Kebbi State, Dr. Zainab Shinkafi Bagudu, on her election as President of the Union for International Cancer Control. President Tinubu underscores the historic significance of Dr. Shikafi Bagudu's election on October 8 as the first African and the fifth woman to lead the Global Cancer Control Organization. The president notes that her election attests to her competence and character and affirms the enormous talents that abound in Nigeria, as well as Nigeria's growing influence in global health leadership. President Tinubu expresses confidence in Dr. Shikafi Bagudu's ability to use her new office and leadership to improve cancer control and global health. This is News Extra. More to come after the break. Stay with us. Thank you for remaining tuned. Justice delayed is justice denied, they say. This was re-echoed in the House of Representatives, where lawmakers are calling for an efficient justice delivery system that works for all Nigerians. This resolution of the House followed a motion on the floor seeking public hearing towards addressing perceived delay in justice delivery in the country. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Igbe reports.
The judiciary is said to be the hope of the common man, providing a platform for marginalized voices to be heard and relief against oppression. Lawmakers at plenary call attention to the need to boost and not erode public confidence on the nation's judiciary.
In some states of the Federation, cases at the High Court, which by their nature ought to be dispensed with within months, last between 4 to 5 years before judgment is delivered.
Of the number of persons in our correctional facilities, I can say that over 60 to 70% are people who are awaiting trial.
The public hearing of the Constitution Review should prioritize this issue that have been deliberated firmly by the House.
To address food crisis in the country, the House advocates implementation of the Export Prohibition Act to ensure food availability and reduce cost of living for Nigerians.
The failure to implement the said legislation over time has led to severe food shortages, high food prices, increased food insecurity, and the loss of revenue for farmers and the federal government.
Lawmakers frowned at incessant cases of building collapse in the country.
We are concerned about these challenges as it affects us as a nation. My prayer is to mandate the Ministry of Works Committee to ascertain the causes and report back to the House within 4 weeks for further legislative action.
The new American ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, was the guest of Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. They called for stronger ties between Nigeria and the United States.
More deeper cooperations, more mutually beneficial relationship. I have no doubt in my mind you are the right man coming at the right moment.
I really very much in my first months here wanted to have a chance to talk to the Speaker about his priorities, about the priorities of the House.
The Speaker assured the envoy of the support of Nigeria's legislature in his assignment. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Let's focus on security now. In the wake of security challenges in Nigeria, a beacon of hope flickers in the halls of the National Assembly as experts converged for dispassionate discussions on national security. The House of Representatives Committee on Internal Security convenes a 2-day workshop exploring the theme, Managing Security and Security Challenges in Nigeria. Iglesias Onkwo feeds us.
The corridors of legislative power stood solemn as minds converged to address a crisis that dared the nation in the face. With the drumbeat of insecurity receiving more resistance, this workshop could not be more timely. For 2 days, the House of Representatives Committee on Internal Security, in partnership with MW&J Consulting, will immerse itself in deep reflection, asking one vital question: how to uproot the various sources of insecurity in Nigeria.
Several initiatives and efforts like border control and identity management have been made in the past. However, tackling these issues has become difficult due to socio-economic and political interest laden with ethno-religious undertones.
The discussions unfolded not just as words, but as a call to action. Participants were eager for solutions to the disturbing threat of insecurity along the streets, homes, and the very fabric of the Nigerian society. Yet, within these walls, a sense of purpose fills the air as security experts and stakeholders seek to arrest the situation.
In many cases, security personnel assigned to deal with given security situation lack the expertise, and most of the time they don't have the equipment to handle the situation.
Our armed forces of Nigeria is doing wonderfully well based on the available resources to them.
As the sun sets on the first day of the workshop, the road to success remains clear, with renewed commitment to chart a course for a safer Nigeria. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, cybercrime is a threat that requires collective response. It's therefore essential for everyone to be aware of this evolving threat. These are the views of the Inspector General of Police, delivered by the DIG, Bala Chiroma, at the 2024 Cybersecurity Awareness Campaign in Abuja. Francis Fom informs us.
It is a gathering of stakeholders in the cybersecurity and private sector, brought together by the Nigeria Police Force National Cybercrime Center in commemoration of the 2024 Cybersecurity Awareness Campaign Week, to share knowledge, expertise, and experience to counter the growing threats of cybersecurity in the country.
Over the past years, we have enhanced our investigative capabilities, invested in advanced technologies, such that the MPF NCCC has evolved into a national entity, becoming the central hub for addressing cyber-enabled crimes.
In an era dominated by digital economy and technology, securing cyberspace is now an inseparable from securing the physical world.
Your collaboration and support are essential to ensure that our national cybersecurity strategy is comprehensive and, of course, effective.
No one agency can fight this menace because it's a whole there, because we see thousands and thousands of cases.
With the theme, Secure Our World, the 2024 Cybersecurity Awareness Campaign Week hope to build a secure digital environment where Nigeria is prepared to meet the challenges of the future. Francis from NTA News.
Let's look elsewhere now. In a bid to save lives, healing hearts, and transforming lives, the First Exploration and Petroleum Development Company Limited is investing 2.6 billion naira in support of humanitarian work of Healthy Heart Foundation in the next 3 years. Benny Adams reports that the signing of partnership was witnessed by the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Muhammad Ali Pate.
But choosing to do this to make affordable access to quality cardiac care and surgical intervention.
The government is proud of this partnership. This is the diaspora coming back home to provide world-class Medicare at almost zero cost, as First Exploration and Petroleum Development Company Limited is footing the bills.
First CNP has been started off with a social conscience.
I think the impact we can make is when we ensure that impact touches a lot of Nigerians. But without Dr. Yemi Johnson and Professor Kofi Ogunyake, we won't be here.
Everything was expensive and the Naira kept getting worse
and people just couldn't afford, and you can't just watch people say you have a heart attack, you need this, you need that, and just watch them die.
Healing hearts, transforming lives is what this partnership between First Exploration and Petroleum Development Company alongside Healthy Hearts Foundation is all about. More than 350 hearts are involved. It is a life-changing corporate social responsibility initiative spanning 3 years. It is aimed at providing free open heart surgeries and enhancing cardiovascular care through various procedures for more than 350 underprivileged Nigerians in critical need.
The surgery was done free of charge, and that made me happy.
People who said, "You mean heart surgery?" I said yes. In Nigeria here, I said yes. FCC are the answer to the problem. FCC are the answer to the problem. And since then, those things are suspended. I've come back. I'm healthy. I'm hearty.
For the financier, First E&P, a key player in the oil and gas exploration space. It is not all about oil and gas exploration, but is deeply rooted in social conscience as a company invests in healthcare, education, and enterprise development as part of its corporate social responsibility. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
Still focusing on health, we head to the Home of Peace, where it is common knowledge that the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital suffered the most of destructions in the wake of the September 9th devastating flood that ravaged Maiduguri city and its environs. The visit to the complex by the Coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Ali Pate, alongside Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, and other key stakeholders, is seen by observers as a deliberate move to revive the largest teaching hospital in the country within the shortest possible time. Mojanatu Hassan has the details.
University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital is one of the institutions was hit by the 9th September flood disaster that ravaged Maiduguri and environs, with most of its 14 specialized centers badly damaged, necessitating the suspension of all clinical services for the first time ever since the establishment of the facility about 50 years ago. The Chief Medical Director, Professor Ahmed Ahijo, and other management staff of the hospital conducted the Minister and Governor Zulum round the centers affected by the disaster. Professor Pate, who was touched by the enormity of damage suffered by the facility, promised to make a special case for it to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for immediate intervention.
This hospital serves not only a large part of our country, Nigeria, but also 6 neighboring countries depend on this hospital. Yes, the majority of the population that is from Borno State and the Northeast.
On his part, Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, who expressed concern over the damage to some sensitive medical facilities, promised to see to its full recovery by presenting a check of 500 million naira to the minister as his support in that direction.
Let me welcome the minister and assure you that government of Borno State and our distinguished leadership will provide continued support to the teaching hospital.
Receiving the check, the minister lauded the cordial relationship between the state and UMTH, appealing for more of such for quality healthcare services to be assured. To the Chief Medical Director, Professor Ahmed Ahijo, the visit by the minister and the state government's gesture will spur them to retain their position in tertiary healthcare service delivery in the West African sub-region. In Maiduguri, Mojanatu Hassan, NTA News.
Away from the Home of Peace, now we head to the New World, where the Ministers of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, and that of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, led the distribution of food palliative to the Jigawa flood victims in Sule, Tankaka local government area of Jigawa State. Mohammed Musa Askira reports that a food palliative was part of the rice donation initiative of the federal government to the state.
The 25 kg bag federal government rice was augmented with 10 kg bag of millet, 10 kg bag of maize and carton of spaghetti, and 5,000 naira cash to each of the 17,450 beneficiaries who are the victims of this year's flood disaster in the state. Senior Special Assistant to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Political Affairs, Ibrahim Kabiru Masari, assures the victims and all Jigawa people of the President's continued support to alleviate their suffering.
We want to assure you
that your state will continue to receive our best attention in all structures of governance in Nigeria.
The Ministers of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, and that of Budget and Planning, Atiku Bagudu, commends the Jigawa people for their resilience and unrelenting support to the APC-led administration at the federal and the state levels, assuring them that the present hardship is temporary and necessary for better future of the nation, while commending Governor Umar Namadi for designing pro-masses policies and programs to enhancing the quality of life of the people in the state.
We are all aware of the chronology of events which has plunged the entire globe into food insecurity in recent past, such as the aftermath of the COVID-19, the Russian-Ukraine war, climate change, and other localized factors which has distorted food prices globally, of which Nigeria is not an exception.
In addition to support of the enterprise and interventions to ease burden, Mr. President had approved the inclusion of the Kano-Maradi Railway, which passes through Kazauri.
We also embark on a distribution of livelihood support to thousands of households through Jigawa State, mostly in hard-to-reach communities, including agricultural input package, fertilizer, improved seed, and chemicals.
The program is running under the Presidential Food Initiative and assistance aimed at cushioning the effects of rising costs of living in the country. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Away from Jigawa State now, let's leave the shores of Nigeria, paying requisite attention to early child education as a strategic means of shaping the life of the child towards achieving a formidable future, not only for the individual, but the nation as a whole. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, stated this while participating at a high-level forum of women leaders in Burundi. State House correspondent Adeniyi Taiwo has all the details.
Investing in early childhood to build human capital throughout life as a central theme, there is no doubt that African First Ladies are serious about shining the light on the formative years, which they believe are critical to shaping outcomes of life. Joining voices with other First Ladies, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says the role of women in nurturing the child is an important one, especially at the early stage of life. While applauding the focus of the meeting, the First Lady encouraged her peers to take up the challenge of promoting early childhood education, leveraging the influence of their office.
We hold a unique position of influence, and with that comes the responsibility to shape policies that impact generations. Our roles are complementary and supportive. We cannot really say we want to make policies. So our roles as their wives is to make sure that we really have the right influence, the visibility to bring succor and help to the underprivileged. As women leaders and mothers of the nation, we have the ability to advocate for influence and lead social change, particularly for women and children.
President of the Republic of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, declared the forum open, noting that the family remains an integral factor in child outcomes in life and urged both parents to take the task more seriously. The forum, through other speakers, also highlighted school feeding and peace in the region as major factors necessary to promote early child education. This is the 5th edition of the Forum of Women Leaders to be held in Bujumbura, Burundi. Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
Back home, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has joined forces with development partners to promote access to finance through Women Entrepreneurs Finance Initiative, WIFI. At the commitment of the initiative, the CBN Governor, Olayemi Kadoso, expressed optimism that the initiative presents an opportunity to unlock the economic potential of women entrepreneurs to help them build their businesses. Musa Abubakar reports.
At the heart of Nigeria's economic transformation lies the empowerment of women, a mission that took a significant leap forward today at the Central Bank of Nigeria's headquarters in Abuja. In a historic move, the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kaduso, in a strategic collaboration bolstered by two key financial institutions, the Bank of Industry and the Development Bank of Nigeria, officially signed the Declaration of Commitment for the Women Entrepreneurship Finance Initiative, WIFI.
I will put in all I have, and I know with the collective will of the leadership in the central bank, as well as our partners who have come together on this particular initiative, we will be successful in ensuring that we bridge that gender gap.
As one of the champions of this initiative, the Bank of Industry remains steadfast in its commitment to empowering women-owned MSMEs, ensuring that they have the resources, the access, and opportunities needed to succeed.
DBN will designate a senior leader internally to drive the initiative of the code and expand the bank's efforts to support women entrepreneurs, ensuring that they have access to both financial and non-financial resources crucial for their growth.
The WIFI initiative, a global project designed to foster financial inclusion and support women entrepreneurs, aligns perfectly with Nigeria's vision to create a more inclusive economy. The women entrepreneurs in Nigeria face various challenges, including limited access to finance, markets, mentorship. This initiative seeks to dismantle these barriers, providing a pathway for women-led businesses to grow, thrive, and compete on a global scale. The signing marks more than just a commitment. It marks a future of financial empowerment where women entrepreneurs are positioned to lead the next wave of Nigeria's economic growth. In Abuja, I'm Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
We have more business stories, and Benny Adams will guide us. Benny.
Thank you, Yere. And more on business. The 6th edition of the African Digital Summit has opened in Casablanca, Morocco, bringing together the most important players in the digital sector in the kingdom and the African continent, and exploring the opportunities and challenges posed by the integration of artificial intelligence. Speakers say artificial intelligence offers opportunities as well as challenges at the same time, especially in the fields of energy and talent management, hence the need to build trust.
And be part of the speakers today, talking a little bit about trust. As Edelman, we've been studying trust for nearly 25 years, and it's really important when we think about digital innovation and AI and technology that we manage to keep building trust in those new technologies for people so that we can make sure they're implemented into society correctly.
And now still talking AI, and back in Nigeria, the AI community and partners are committing $1.5 million in supporting Nigeria's effort towards developing the AI ecosystem. The Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, is part of the community with experts from civil society, the academia, the tech community, and other sectors working together to advance artificial intelligence in Nigeria and ensuring its safe and ethical use for the good of all in society.
So, we didn't know anything about Nigeria. ChatGPT popped up and we all started using it. That is what is coming. And it's already here with us. It's already in the technology and the solution that you use. But that is not the sole responsibility of the government or minister or even data or any organization. These are collective responsibilities.
And now taking a look at the equities market today. The equities market sustains a bearish trend with 56.1 2 billion naira loss on Wednesday, as the all share index was down by 10 basis points to close the session at 97.485.14 basis points from 97,584.81 basis points on Tuesday, which is amplifying the sell-offs as well as the profit taken at this point. And we see for today the total volume of shares is 356.1 million, valued at 6.923 trillion naira. And looking at the top trades, we have Fidelity Bank here on the top spot, followed by UBA with 38 million, and Sterling Bank with 33.7 million. That is it under business, but News Extra continues after this commercial break. Do stay with us.
Glad to have you back. President Bola Tinubu felicitates with Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya of Gombe State and Chairman of the Northern States Governors Forum on his 63rd birthday. President Tinubu thanks Governor Yahaya for his dedicated leadership for the NSGF for ensuring that the forum remains a purposeful force in rallying leaders to address the multifaceted challenges and promote regional cooperation and sustainable development. The President acknowledges the governor's steady strides in education, economic development, infrastructure, and agriculture. These efforts have improved the quality of life for the people of Gombe and made healthcare more affordable and accessible. He also commends the governor for reintegrating over 350,000 out-of-school children in the state, significantly improving examination pass rates, and praised that Gombe State will continue to witness more prosperity under the Dan Majen Gombe. Now let's head to the Confluence State, where a total of 1,000 women and youths are currently being trained and supported as part of an initiative to revive homegrown gardens in Kogi State. The pilot program, organized by the State Ministry of Agriculture, will be implemented across all 21 local government areas of the state. Jonathan Amajale reports on the program's launch.
Over the years, homegrown gardens have provided women with easy access to fresh vegetables and other crops without the need to visit the market. Beyond the nutritional benefits of these mostly organic foods, women also utilize land that would have otherwise remained unused. In Kogi State, women and youth farmers are reviving this long-standing agricultural practice through a government-supported program. The initiative is backed by the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Health, with additional support from the World Bank's Accelerating Nutritional Results in Nigeria, IRENE project.
So it's expected that in all our homes, all our mothers, our wives should develop a habit of keeping a garden.
As part of the pilot project, 1,000 farmers are receiving training, farming tools and seedlings.
We have different facilitators to give them skills and knowledge on how to carry out the activities, starting from soil preparation to cultivation, to harvesting period, and to even the market level.
And nutritionally, you can ascertain the contents of these crops better than the one you even buy in the market.
All the things that they give us today, by the grace of God, when I go back home again, I will still go and plant it.
Very good one, and it's coming at the right time to the women of Kogi State and the youth. And secondly, I want to commend the governor of Kogi State. He has done a very good job. He started very well as far as agric is concerned.
The effort is a key component of the state government's food security agenda. In Lokoja, Jonathan Omajali, NTA News.
Chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Arewa, has expressed gratitude to Nathan Cooper, Speaker of the Alberta Legislature, for recognizing and appreciating the Nigerian community's progressive impact in Alberta, in particular, and Canada in general. Dabiri-Arewa, who praised the Nigerian community for their contributions to Alberta, noting how they have become good ambassadors of Nigeria, highlighted the importance of fostering closer ties between both regions. by reinforcing the need for stronger economic partnerships between Nigeria and its diaspora. Nathan Cooper, Speaker of Alberta Legislature, on his part, echoed appreciation for the Nigerian community, emphasizing Alberta's shared values of family, hard work, and compassion. He noted that Nigerians play essential roles in education, social work, and legal services. We head to the Center of Excellence, where 2 missing persons from a boat mishap which occurred in Lagos on Monday evening have been recovered dead after 13 passengers were rescued alive. In a swift effort to avoid a reoccurrence, the National Inland Waterways Authority said legal charges will be pressed against culprits. Michael Olaleye reports that the spate of waterways casualties is generating concern among stakeholders.
Nearly a quarter of Lagos landmass is covered with water bodies, thereby making it impossible to access certain locations without the use of boats. With the rainy season reaching its climax, the water level is fast rising, increasing the threat of boat mishap. The tides and climb seems not to be favorable to a fiber boat en route Port Novo from Ebute Road when it veered off its channel and collided with a wooden boat at Imore town in Amu Ward of Fin local government area of the state.
Everybody actually went into the water, and local minor divers with support of police, marine police, quickly went to their rescue. The 2 boats are unregistered boats, and they did not follow standard practice. They don't even have a proper manifest. So we can't even refer to a document to say how many people were on board.
The National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, attributed the unfortunate incident to the obstructed vision of the fiber boat driver. For now, 13 passengers have been rescued, while 2 dead bodies recovered.
They will definitely produce the captain of that boat. We intend to send the case to the court for proper justice.
This situation, in addition to recent mishaps, stakeholders say highlights reasons for more intense regulatory framework.
Let the government clear a pathway for the boats to go, mark them, put navigation aids along the road so that it can be easier for you and I to go along the road or along the waterways.
It is believed that boosting confidence in water transportation as an intermodal system of movement will be determined by the amount of effort channeled towards infrastructure and regulations. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
In other news, October 9 marks 150 years of the Postal Service, a key pillar of global communication and trade for generations. It has connected people and nations, shaping vital cross-border exchanges. This highlights the essential role postal services play in socio-economic development. In line with this, the Nigerian Postal Service, NIPOST, joins the Universal Postal Union, UPU, to celebrate the day, focusing on using technology to keep postal services reliable, accessible, and affordable in the digital age. Chimdima Ondubese reports.
What began as simple letter and document delivery have transformed into a dynamic platform, driving e-commerce, cultural exchange, and access to vital services. The Postal Service has evolved into a global communication powerhouse, connecting people and nations across vast distances. Over the years, the postal system has modernized, adapting from traditional mail delivery to digital technology delivery. What once seemed like a threat, digital communication and the decline of physical mail have now become an opportunity for growth. Today, postal services offer a diverse range of solutions, from financial services to social and digital services. The Nigerian Postal Service, NIPOST, is an integral part of this ongoing transformation.
What we have lost in traditional mail volume, we have gained it in other areas, like e-commerce, logistics, online purchases, then modernization of the post. We do so many other allied services. So our core mandate is mail delivery, but we have diversified with the aid of technology.
and of course a well-trained workforce.
Innocent, one of NIPOST's dedicated postal workers, is a true foot soldier of the service. With determination, he navigates the nation's varied terrains through bustling cities and hard-to-reach rural areas to deliver items that matter. For him, each delivery is more than just a parcel. It's about connecting families, supporting businesses, and making a difference in people's lives.
Anywhere you are, at this digital age, we can get to you. NIPOST can reach you. Like me now, I'm a last delivery man, and so by this, anywhere you are, whatever mail you send, we'll get in touch with you.
Observers believe that postal workers like Innocent deserve recognition, especially on a day like this, as the world marks 150 years of the Universal Postal Union's achievement in enabling global communication and empowering people across nations. In Abuja, I'm Ndubisi, NTA News.
More news after this break. Please stay. Thank you for staying put. Sustaining trajectory in the power sector. The federal government is building capacity of players in the sector in line with policy thrust of the present administration. Joshua Ojita reports that the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, NAPTIN, on the mandate of the Power Minister, Adebayo Adelabo, is engaging the power sector communication team on the workings of the sector for effective communication on the gains attained. The training is to equip them and bring them up to speed with developments in the sector and to address misalignment among sector players.
We have made, some remarkable, achievements, and there's the need, to let the public, know what's happening within the sector. So the essence of the program is to build, on the skills, of those who disseminate, news within the sector. We need to give support, to the sector to build the necessary human capacity that will run and maintain, equipment within the sector.
It's important that all of the agencies within the power sector have a singular sense of focus and also are able to communicate along the lines of what Mr. President and the Honorable Minister of Power have given to us in terms of our targets.
And we're hoping that as the power sector communications team, we're able to effectively not just learn more about the sector, but we're able to build capacity.
Gathering the heads of public relations in the agency to come and learn how to properly inform the society what they are doing. Government is getting it right now.
And in education, the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, has extended its enlightenment engagement to thousands of students in University of Nigeria, Nsukka, UNN, and Nnamdi Azikiwe University, UNIZIK. NEL Fund Managing Director Akintude Sawyer, who led the team, says NEL Fund is unimpressed with level of participation of students from the Southeast in the lofty intervention. He observes that the students felt they are left behind and the noble financial intervention for students. Hence, the decision to reach out to them with relevant information regarding the recently established student loan scheme being implemented by NEL Fund. He used the opportunity to expose students to benefits of the scheme, particularly in lifting financial burden from them and their parents. Another break is due. Remain tuned. Let's now take a peep at the foreign scene. Kolo Mohammed will guide us.
Mozambicans headed to the polls on Wednesday to vote in an election that could for the first time usher in a president born after the country's independence from Portuguese colonizers in 1975. Some 11 million of the country's population of 32 million are eligible to vote. 65-year-old incumbent president Filipe Nyusi of the Frelimo party will step down, having served out the constitutionally approved 8 years in office. Reports say analysts predict the opposition candidate to have an edge as the ruling party had served 49 years in a stretch. Similarly, some Kenyans in the capital Nairobi share their views as a bid by lawmakers to oust Deputy President Gachagua reached the Senate after he was impeached by the lower house of Parliament on Tuesday. They voted overwhelmingly on Tuesday night to impeach Gachagua in a historic move that follows the fallout with his boss, President William Ruto.
On the motion are as follows. Abstentions 1. The noes 44. The ayes 281. So the ayes have it.
Every day since the tragedy of October the 3rd, dozens of people wait at the port of Kiruko, a few hundred meters from where the boat sank, for news about their missing family members. Red Cross and police teams have been patrolling the lake for more bodies, but without success. Frustrated, the families accuse authorities of not properly facilitating divers to do their job. One diver reportedly died during a salvage operation. The disaster was captured live on camera by onlookers. At least 33 bodies have been recovered so far. Local authorities estimate over 70 died in the disaster. Kolom Hamad, NTA News.
And from Kolo, we move to Bade for sports news. Bade, feel us.
Many thanks, Yara. Right. Chairman House of Representatives Committee on Sports, Kapiru Amado, is confident that the Super Eagles have all it takes to qualify for the 2025 AFCON in Morocco and 2026 FIFA World Cup in USA, Canada, and Mexico. The lawmaker representing Goso Safi Federal Constituency of Zamfara State, while charging the Austin de Guavoyen-coached Super Eagles to secure maximum points against the Mediterranean Knights of Libya and Uyo on Friday and Benghazi next Tuesday, assured on Speaker Tajuddin Abbas-led House of Representatives support for the Super Eagles and sports development in the country. And of course, in a related development, Super Eagles are hitting top gear as they prepare for the two-legged fixture against Libya in their quest to reach AFCON finals next year. Nigeria currently tops Group D with 4 points from 2 matches after victory over Benin Republic and a draw with Rwanda in the qualifiers. All invited players are in camp with no injury concerns ahead of their first game in Uyo on Friday. Now, former Super Eagles player Daniel Amokachi has been unveiled as the new technical advisor of Lobby Stars Football Club of Makurdi. Governor Hesant Aliya, who unveiled the technician, said the move became necessary to reposition the club for better performance.
And Benue State to resume its hold on sports. We have football players by our DNA in Benue State. And under my watch, that must come back.
My priority is my players. I shout on my players, I back on my players, I drill them to the further. I cannot drill my players on an empty stomach.
Now, about 8 teams from different agencies in the public and private sectors are set to battle it out in the inaugural edition of the Corporate Stars League, which is aimed at exploring the power of sports, especially football, in promoting unity and strengthening bonds among participating organizations while also boosting their productivity. The league, which will be in a customized hybrid format, will see competing football teams fight for top honors and bragging rights for about 6 weeks, with the tournament starting on the 19th of October and ending on the 30th of November 2024. The league will be a 7-a-side tournament with matches which will be played on weekends, decided within the duration of 40 minutes.
So, to have fun, to network, and for fairness in the game. This is the first time it's been organized, and we expect that it's going to be very interesting.
So we're looking forward to having fun. We're looking forward to having a good game, and obviously to win.
We're bringing the same feeling of that professional standard back to the corporate sector, and that's what we're doing. And we're excited that a lot of organizations have bought into this project, and then you can see how they are all excited to see the first season.
All right, that's a bit on sports. Let's now return to Yara.
Many thanks, Buddy, for the fellas, and that's News Extra tonight. Many thanks for investing your time with us. From the entire production crew, have a good night.